It's January here in Tokyo. It's very cold outside, and today I'm going to make a winter bouquet. Before we get started, let me go through the different flowers that's going to go into this bouquet. I have the base of the bouquet that really holds everything together, the eucalyptus, the licorina, blue flowers here, some astrolancia, beautiful ranunculus. We have some bouvardia flowers. There is some euphorbia. I think this is called frost. These very small, delicate flowers. There's some parrot tulips in white and green, very beautiful. These ones is really amazing, the purple anemones, and we also have some clematis. Then I have some green silvery foliage and some acacia as well. So a lot of the flowers that I am using here in this bouquet is actually considered spring flowers, particularly for instance the tulips, ranunculus and anemones. However, I think often it's about also creating a feel with the flowers. In this case, we're trying to assemble a bit sort of the winter feel. So therefore, I have chosen a lot of like silver gray, like the eucalyptus or these acacia and the silver green foliage here to sort of get this like winter feel in between some of these spring flowers that I have chosen for this bouquet. I'm trying to make it a little bit so there is air coming through the bouquet. The spring flowers really open up very nicely. A lot of them, like the shape changes a lot over, let's say, a week or 10 days. So I'm trying to make like space enough in here for the flowers to sort of really develop and open up in the bouquet. Next up, I'm trying to always create a little bit of sort of layers in the bouquet. You notice here now that this is sort of the basic layer of the bouquet. I'll do the clematis sort of slightly just above the main size of the main surface of the bouquet to create these layers. So when I select the different flowers, of course, first and foremost, I always look at, the color or the size of each flower. I think a lot about is the different thickness of each stem. So for instance, the tulip anemone here has very thick stems, and if the majority of the flowers that goes into the bouquet is very thick, it's quite difficult to really get a very detailed bouquet. So I try, of course, pick the flowers that fit nicely together, but also thinking a lot about the thickness of the stem to really get like a nice sort of balance between thick and thin stemmed flowers. In that way, it really sort of comes nicely together when you create the spiral bouquet. Another thing that I often think about and focus a lot on is, of course, now I am making the bouquet, my vision is quite from the top, but as the flowers come in a vase on a table or entrance, wherever it's going to be, that you also have a nice flow on the side around the bouquet. That's something that I often think about when it goes into a vase. What will the finished product look like? I am at the end of this bouquet here. I think everything has come quite nicely together. This whole feel of the winter theme with the small white euphorbia, like snow, the eucalyptus, the gray, sort of these winter feel image has really sort of come nicely together, I think. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut the stems at the bottom, and then after that tie up the bouquet. When I am cutting the flowers, I am very often focusing on keeping my arm straight here and parallel with what I'm cutting. In that way, it's a nice measurement to how to cut straight. So keep wrist and arm straight here, and then cutting straight over gives a very nice straight cut. As I am about to tie the string of the bouquet, I often try to sort of make sure that the bouquet hasn't become like too tight as I am putting it together. So in the end, I am trying to loosen up a bit the flowers so they really sort of fall nicely into place. I've always focused on getting the string at the perfect location, which is where the bouquet is the slimmest. That's where I'm putting the string just in that exact area. So here you can see how it sort of is like nicely coming together. The greenery is falling nicely around, and the beautiful dome shape with the small clematis coming up here and there from the winter bouquet. I hope you've enjoyed this video. See you again soon. Thank you.